Praise the Lord again. I've been asked to say a few words on behalf of the friends. I feel really humbled to be asked to do this task. Because Leonard was a man who had many, many friends from all walks of life. It's really an impossible task to try to capture the sentiments that they would have wanted to share today. But nevertheless, with God's help, I'll try to do whatever I can. Fellow mourners, we are gathered here in to celebrate and thank God for the life of this illustrious great man who lies here today, Leonard Mbotela, as we prepare to lay him to rest tomorrow. Touch the hearts of many people, and that's why we are here today. We are here to stand in solidarity with his nuclear family and the wider Mbotela family, as well as their in-laws and friends during this incredibly difficult period in their lives. We have had many tributes about Leonard, and I think those who spoke before me, they have actually captured very well who Leonard was. If you go to a funeral and really want to understand the character of the person who is being mourned, just listen to the grandchildren, because I think the grandchildren capture the essence of the person more than anybody else could do. I think the children here, the grandchildren, have told us exactly who Leonard was, and I'll not therefore want to repeat what his attributes were. I've known the Mbotela family for over 60 years, and what I can say is that Leonard was very, very special in many ways. Most people, of course, will have known him from his broadcasting work, through his that now famous kipindi Huu ni Ungwana. The Gen Z and the Gen Alpha may not know about this particular program, but it has been one of the longest programs that has run in our traditional media, in the radio and television, for decades and decades, even long before they were born. But what is so unique about this particular program, because it hit deep down into the ways of our lives. They're challenging us to look deeply into our hearts and how we behave towards each other, or related to each other in a manner that is unbecoming of a civilized human being. The program, in a very humorous way, sought to shame and name those people behaving badly, and by inference, therefore, encouraged the people to have a courteous behavior and also to relate well with other human beings. And I think this is something that is currently very deficient in our society. If you read the social media today, some of the things that you see on the social media are unprintable. And this is not what Leonard would have wished to see, because he wished to see ungwana, in other words, humanity within ourselves and how we related to each other. Let me say, because I've been in the media space for the last 30 years, that Leonard epitomized the best in journalism and broadcasting in particular. I say this because I think the primary role of the media is to inform, educate, and entertain. Leonard accomplished all these roles like nobody else I can think of. He was a great entertainer, full of humor, and I think his voice was his brand, because when Leonard talked, you didn't need to introduce himself to know that Leonard was talking. His voice was just very captivating and mesmerized the audience of whatever he was talking about. And he was patriotic to a fault. One of the things that people will remember well is particularly when he would have a live broadcasting of soccer or any other sport. And you would actually imagine through his words that in fact you're actually present in there, which is a gift that I think sadly we haven't got any of those journalists that can actually come even close to what he was doing. He educated and nurtured and mentored many journalists, some of who are here today and can bear witness. His commitment and passion for his work was incredible. His job was not just a job to earn money and support his family, but it was his life. You know, Leonard lived his work, and the work was his life. And this is something that I would like to perhaps, encourage our journalists to do, because I am not sure that our journalists today feel about what journalism is all about. Because journalists do incredibly important work in this world, because we rely on them to tell us what is happening about in the society. But in this age, in this digital age, when we are facing information overload or fake news, it is important that more than ever before, to have journalists that we can trust. And therefore, I want to encourage the journalists who are here today to try to follow what Leonard stood for. As we say farewell to Leonard, allow me to thank the Association of Professional Broadcasters through their patron, Dr. Mutua, for what they did last year when they visited him at home and paid homage to them. This is something that I think we ought to really emulate, because sometimes when we come to funerals, we hear incredible things about people we have lived with but we never knew. So maybe perhaps this is something for us to reflect on and to see how we can actually celebrate our heroes and heroines when they are still. As I conclude, though Leonard is no longer with us, his passion and extraordinary contribution to broadcasting will continue to inspire, guide, and light the path of broadcasting journalists for generations to come. It is upon those left behind to reflect on the values he taught us and honor this memory by embracing the values he stood for. If we do this, we shall contribute to the building of a better and more inclusive world. Fare thee well, my brother, Leonard, and may your doctrine of ungwana follow you in your new home, where ungwana is the culture and the way of life. Rest in peace.